housekeeping things. I know Matt sent you all some clarification last week, and I just want to expound on that, you know, our compliance people had sent the information to the NCAA. They conducted their own search, sent it to the NCAA. It came back, they cleared him unequivocally. We do not have to, in any reason, shape, or form, think that there'll be anything else that he has to go through, and expect him here the rest of the year. That's number one. Number two, as far as all these allegations, I'm just going to tell you that I feel very comfortable that we've emphatically cooperated with everybody on every search, and everything we've done, I think we've appropriately handled it exactly the way we were supposed to handle it at the rules of that time, and that's where we are there. As far as our players, you know, we've done a great job of talking about helping the healing process in this community and in this university. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to work our tail off to help the healing process both in the university and in this community that we love so dearly. Our players are committed to that, I'm committed to that, and any other things that will make us better, we're going to do whatever it takes to help that process, okay? Whatever it takes to help that process. And finally, guys, we're not answering any questions, my team, anymore about anything but basketball. That's going to be it. It's basketball questions. I owe it to them, and I mean this strongly. I owe it to them and I owe it to my staff that we're going to focus in, because it's been a lot of distractions. I try to do it as best I could do it for all of you, never cut off our locker room or anything else. But now it's going to be basketball time. These players, this staff deserves to focus in on basketball. That's what we're going to do, and see if we can make this incredible year even more special.
Moving past a lot of the TMZ bullshit, can you talk about the difficulty of preparing for two different teams?
Yeah, I can do that. That's great. I would love to talk about that. It is difficult, but at the same time, you know, we have an advantage that we just played Wisconsin. We played Maryland a while ago, so we're working on some things with Maryland. Tonight we're going to review some things with Wisconsin. We've looked at what, you know, Michigan or Nebraska does, because you know the theory around here, it's never look ahead, but it is about winning the weekend. And so we're going to try to have special things, like if one team presses, if somebody plays different zones than we're used to, like a 1-3-1 or whatever. We're going to do hopefully a great job of preparing for that. So no matter who we play, when we play, or what we play, we're going to try to do our best to be prepared for that. And so today was on a lot of Maryland, because Wisconsin we just played. Tonight will be on a little Wisconsin. Tomorrow will probably be on a little bit of both, and then throwing in some unique things about any of the other teams we play, meaning more so presses or certain zones. And then we're just going to go, enjoy the trip, get there, figure out, you know, how we get up in the morning and play early, watch the second game, figure out who we're playing, and then if we win, we'll have some time to do it. If we don't, we're coming home like you.
Tom, Fred hates conference tournaments. Tell me why he's wrong.
Fred hates conference tournaments. You know, I don't disagree with him. I think you do so much all year, and we're getting to the point a little bit like the ACC and the Big East, where the conference tournament means more than the regular season. In all fairness, the regular season is a 16, 18 game schedule. And to persevere through that is probably more difficult than the conference tournament. But it seems like people put a lot onto the conference tournament. So I'm going to adjust and do whatever I want. You know, there hasn't been many teams, and I'm going to check this out, who won the regular season outright and the conference tournament. And that's our goal right now.
Tom, are you seeing any kind of thing that Jaren Jackson may be hitting that freshman wall?
No, in fact, I'm seeing the opposite, especially today. I was hoping that Jaren, you know, our goal today was, can you get through 2 hours of pretty intense practice? He had his moments, but he's actually, I think, getting stronger. I think he might have hit it before, but right now he's getting stronger, and he's, I've been very pleased with the effort and the play at Jaren.
I want to ask about Cassius. I mean, you talked a lot in the preseason about how much he'd worked on his shooting, but 56% three-point range. I mean, did you think anything like that was possible for him?
No, I didn't, Kyle. I actually thought when I recruited him out of high school, I never saw him shoot like that. So shame on me, I guess. But I saw him play a lot, a ton. And he was so good at getting around people, getting to the basket. I even asked his father one time, you know, where did that shot come from? So I'm not going to take any credit for it. His high school coach, his dad, himself. And then last summer, I told you, he put in his time, last spring, summer, and fall. And I think he made tremendous improvements. I mean, I look at him defensively in this last little 15-minute scrimmage, and I'm excited for him. So I think Cassius has done it the old-fashioned way. He's worked it, he's earned it. But at the same time, he must have been a better shooter. You don't just become a great shooter. And he is shooting the ball real well right now.
Surprised he was only third team on the All Big Ten voting?
Yeah, you know, but at the same time, the early part of it, you know, the early part of the Big Ten maybe wasn't quite as smooth for anybody. And he came on like gangbusters. It just depends who you play early. Sometimes we only played one team once, and that made it a little more difficult.
Tom, in the past in New York, because you don't get a gym, it's not like you can go practice at the Garden. You've had to use a ballroom. What do you do this week?
We got a nice ballroom set up. It's a real big one. That's going to be one thing. The New York Athletic Club is right down the road, and since our wing foot thing, we have some access to that. And I don't know if I'll use it because, as you know, going 5 blocks in New York could be a half hour, 45 minutes. So a little different than the UP. So I'm just gonna make sure that we're prepared when we leave here, and there'll probably be a lot of the old Princeton stuff when I started in this program, and walkthroughs, eat, walkthroughs, eat, film session, walkthrough, eat, you know, that kind of days. And the days I don't think we'll go anywhere unless the athletic club is so close and we think it'd be beneficial to us, but probably going to be more walkthrough and rest.
Tom, what do you say to your players to prepare them for the stick to basketball only when you're going to the media mecca, and you know reporters are going to be asking the same things over and over?
They're not going to ask me.
No, but I'm saying, how do you prepare your players?
I just told them, and I appreciate however you want to handle it, but I just told them it's time. You know, I've let my players talk, not close my locker room one time. I've let them talk for 5 weeks. And I think they've done an unbelievable job. And then Miles talks the other night, and there's a hair of a mistake, and it gets blown up. So we're going to stick to what we should stick to. These players deserve that. So they're not going to answer anything but basketball questions. When people throw at me, you know, I'm a big boy, I got to handle it. But for them, that's going to be their orders, and apologize, but that's why you came here. You came to ask them questions about basketball.
Mental toughness. Sorry, mental toughness is such a big part of the game, especially at tournament time. And you just said they've done a great job. What does it say just about this group and about these individuals?
Well, they've done a great.
To stay focused?
Yeah, they've done a great job. But you know, as I never do, I don't think lie to anybody. You know, it's been draining on them. You know, we haven't been as sharp as I think we could and should be. And when I start looking at film of what it was like early January, middle of January, there were things that we did a better job of. So I'm either going to rip my assistant coaches, rip myself, or kind of understand that, you know, there's been some things that have been tough on them. But, you know, when you're in a family and one member of the family gets rocked, the family gets rocked. And so I just want to make sure, because this has been a special group. All of you know it, and they deserve to really make as good a run as they can make without any distractions.
Do you still plan at any point in the future to address any of these allegations?
I just addressed them.
With any degree of specificity?
Never any specificity, whatever you said, because I don't have, there's an ongoing investigation here, number one. Number two, those of you that think I'm the prosecutor, the chief of police, the president of the university, and know all these things, like the NCAA investigation, I had nothing to do with that. Zero. Okay? Nothing. And I don't like the narrative everybody's making of this. And so right now, I don't plan on addressing any specific things because I've already said what I said and I don't know anything else.
Can I just ask you this?
Probably not.
So it seems like you're upset about people sort of hanging on a lot of responsibility, and so let me just ask you this. Could you take us step by step through what the protocol would be within this program, within the athletic department, in dealing with reports of criminal sexual misconduct, what your role in that would be, how that would
I'm not
look
going to
like?
take you through that right now, but my role on that is so minimal. I mean, we are hands off now. We are, that goes to other people. I mean, we can just do what we can do, but that thing is decided by the police department, the OIE, all the different things. So I'm not going to comment on things that I've already kind of commented on. It wasn't good enough for some people, and not a lot of people either. It's just a very select few, and you know what? I feel comfortable in my own skin. Yeah, one more question.
The other thing, you know, there has been, I guess, criticism of ESPN and about quote-unquote sensational reporting. Are there any specific mistruths, untruths that you would like to dispute about their reporting?
I don't know, you tell me.
I don't work for ESPN. I'm not the one that claimed that they're sensational. I'm just asking you.
You read it.
Do you, but you have intimate knowledge of this program, I would imagine, and how certain things were handled. So I'm asking you, are there any mistruths in any of that reporting that you would like to dispute right now?
No.
Tom, you talked about the way Cassius has improved on the floor, his game, the way he's shooting the ball, but what about his leadership, the way that's kind of progressed this year, what that's meant to this team?
His leadership's been off the charts, and I think that has really changed in the last 2 months, you know, and he is, just watch him today, he's done such a better job of that. It's almost mind-boggling, but I think he bought in, and I think I bought into him. You know, it's a two-way street. I mean, I've got to understand him better, and what he's all about, he's got to understand me better, and I've enjoyed the process. And sometimes in this job, you never get to the process, you know what I mean? And I enjoyed the process.
Do you remember a moment where that started clicking with him this year, or has it just kind of slowly been?
Oh, after a couple of those losses, I think we had a lot of heart-to-hearts, and we sat down and, you know, talked to different people that I think could help me understand him, and him to help understand us. And Mike Garland has spent a little more time with him in film sessions and things like that, and I think it's helped.
How much is improving your tournament seeding, getting to Detroit at #1? Is that is that a carrot at all?
No. You know what? Right now, I'd love to get to Detroit. I don't know what we'd have to be to get to Detroit, but you know what? I can't. There's a lot of things that I've learned this year I can't control, and that's one of them. You know, that's the selection committee. If they want to say we played certain teams at the wrong time, or if they want to, you know, whatever they got to do, it doesn't matter to me. I said I've gotten deep into that tournament, being a 7-8 seed, being a 2-3 seed, being a 4-5 seed, being a 1 seed. So there's going to be no complaining out of me on that. I just glad we're going to be in it somewhere.
Coach, 12 straight wins. Is there any worry that the guys have forgotten how to lose?
Oh, I hope they've forgotten how to lose, because that's kind of what you want at this time of year. So I do not feel that you need a loss to propel yourself to the next tournament.
What it's like to lose?
No, as far as I'm concerned, they try not to find out, you know. I think we all know what it's like to lose. We've all been through it. Most of these guys have been through the loss last year in the tournament. Most of the guys have been through the loss in the Big Ten tournament. I think there's no question that we understand how to lose. We lost to our rival at home. That's a tough loss. They understand that. I don't think they'll forget that.
Tom, you think Cassius is ready to start taking on some of the better penetrating point guards, whether it be a guy like Cohen or, you know, I mean, that's the next step.
Sure has demonstrated that to me. You know, we're not sitting there worried about helping or this or that. He's getting over ball screens better. He's really using this reach step that we've been working on with him, and he's done a great job of it. I think I mean, if you watch the practice, that's why we let you in these things. If you can't see that he's much better defensively, then it's your fault, not mine.
What clicked for him to go from a guy you couldn't play at certain points to a guy who plays 38 minutes?
Well, you know, there's a process with all these guys. I mean, you know, like Josh Langford is the next guy to take a big jump. You know,
was it gradual, or was there a point where you said, "Man, he's really playing better"?
Oh, I think after a couple meetings, he realized he had to do something better defensively. And then when he did better defensively, he's going to play more offensively. And then he started showing what he could do both ways. So,
what I'm getting at is when he sat out those 9 minutes, he seemed like a little different player after that.
You know, he might have, but I got accused during those 9 minutes of, you know, why you sitting him. So, I don't know. Cash is a very smart kid that I think once he really saw some film and really looked at it and really understood, and Mike and I spent a lot of time with him, and, you know, I know his dad did, his high school coach did. I mean, you know, it's just, we just want to speed the process up so much on these guys. Sometimes they can only do it when they're ready to do it. And, man, midway through his sophomore year, that's pretty good. You know, that's pretty good under most circumstances.
All right, thanks, guys. We got the players available.